You ever find yourself with some bananas that end up looking like this, please do not throw them away. This is not rotten and it's not bad. This is actually perfect. Now, I love bananas, they're really good for you, but every now and then I buy some and I sort of forget about them. Sometimes I get caught up, and when they start to get like a little bit too ripe for me to eat as a banana, I let them go, and I let them go until they get really black and soft. And what's happening is they're almost like caramelizing in their shells. You could keep letting these kind of age, if you will, until the entire skin is black. And inside will be like this almost like juicy banana sweet nectar. And that's what we're gonna use to make banana bread. It's gonna create a bread that's super moist and delicious, give it just a good amount of banana flavor, and it's just gonna be something that's gonna be really nice to have for like breakfast or even a snack throughout the day while we're all hanging out at home, since that's what we all do now. Now, you know I'm not much of a baker, so I'm gonna take this recipe straight from Bon Appetit. I'm just gonna like kind of omit a few things and just make a very simple banana bread. But I'll leave the recipe down below in case you need it. Most of the stuff in this recipe you should have in your pantry. The only thing that I'm using that might be a little different is sour cream. You could use Greek yogurt or any type of yogurt you have. You could use buttermilk, you could use cream. So just sort of realize that this ingredient is a bit of a flexible one. And given the times, whatever you have, you can probably use to make this work. So let's just get into it. I got the oven preheating at 350 degrees. We need to get a big bowl ready and we gotta start making the batter. Now, the recipe doesn't call for sifting the flour, but I'm just gonna sift the flour, the salt, and the baking powder and just kind of get it nice and smooth. 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And you know the proper way to measure flour. You spoon the flour into a measuring cup and then you level off. And that's why I like getting this big square container to hold flour. I can stick a whole 1 cup right into it and then toss the excess back into the container without getting it everywhere, which I used to have a problem with. So measure 1.5 cups. Then I just added the baking soda, which is, I forgot, the measurements are in the description. So we have our dry mix. Now what I want to do is get the bananas out of here into a bowl and then start to smash and kind of puree them, if you will. You could definitely let these guys go even longer. That's what you want to start to see happen, is that banana is starting to literally caramelize. That's the perfect stage to make banana bread. So right here, it's soft. It's gonna work like this, but it's much better when it's in that mushy caramelized state. I've got one of these things I'm just gonna use. Okay, now in the final bowl, the big bowl that we're gonna mix everything into. So first thing we're gonna do is what's that word? We wanna beat the brown sugar, the sour cream. I only need a 1/2 stick of unsalted room temp butter. 1, 2. So I'm gonna beat this in a second, but I need to prep some eggs. So I just wanna crack my eggs first, as always. And what I've learned is that there's an incredible technique used by Italian grandmas, where you use one egg to crack open another, and magically one egg doesn't break. Just crack the other one. I'm so bad at cracking eggs though. So now that's set, now we can start to make it all come together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a hand blender, and you can use a KitchenAid or any mixer you want, and we're gonna beat this together for like 5 minutes till it comes really light and creamy. And then we're gonna slowly add in 1 egg at a time, and then we're going to add flour slowly, and then the banana. So follow along. See how creamy that is? Now we can add the egg. You want to scrape the bottom of the bowl just to get any pieces off the bottom. So now that's looking good. Now we can start to add the dry mixture, which is the flour, and we're going to do that slowly. Now add the bananas. Okay, so now that our batter is done, we have a little bread baking dish kind of thing. I'm gonna grease with butter, and then I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper in like that, and then I'm gonna butter the inside of that. So there you have it. So now into 350-degree oven. How long does she say to bake it? This is Carla's recipe. It says to bake for 60 to 65 minutes, or until you take a toothpick and when you poke it, it comes out clean, just like a cake. So here we go. So now I'm just gonna clean up, wait for that to cook, and we'll check back in about an hour. Set an alarm. The narrower your pan is, the longer it's gonna take. So some might be a little bit wider, some might be a little narrower. That's all good, we're just gonna keep testing it. But we're really just looking for a clean toothpick. The smell is pretty phenomenal if you like bananas. This is gonna be good, I know already. So next what we just have to do is let this cool for at least an hour before cutting into it. You have to wait, it's still cooking inside. That's why it's okay if there's just a little bit that drags onto that toothpick. So it's gonna continue to cook, so in an hour after it's cooled, it's going to be moist and perfect. So check back in an hour. Okay, it's about an hour later. This thing is nicely cooled. Let's see if this thing will come out. It's moist, it's banana-y. There's a little crunch you get from the exterior. It's perfect. Carla nailed it. This is how you want banana bread to look. Now what you could do is you could store it in a bag, you could store it in a cake dish. So you could slice them up and then freeze them. And then you could just heat up some butter and kind of sear both sides to reheat it up whenever you want some banana bread. So do what you feel like. I'm gonna let this continue to cool and then pop it in my bag. And now I got banana bread. You wouldn't have eaten those bananas. You're turning them into gold. That's the beauty of banana bread. How are we doing, guys? Hanging in there? Hope you're doing well. I know we're all inside, but it is what it is. It's an important task and we all gotta be doing it. So try to stay strong. I'm gonna try and maybe do some live streams. I'm just sort of still a little bit in shock as to everything that's going on. So just give me some time and I'll figure out what I wanna do. Other than that, stay happy, smile. Don't forget to smile. Otherwise, that's all I have today. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourself and go feed yourself.